Mark Bell spent 25 years learning how to spot patterns. This one ruined him. The Mantel elf creepy watcher wasn't watching the kids. It was being used to choose who would take the fall. If you want to know who and why, listen closely till the end. The darkest truth sits somewhere between the second snowfall and Christmas Eve. The Mantel elf creepy watcher chose who took the fall. By the second snowfall, Mark Bell had stopped decorating. The wreath stayed in the garage. The lights remained tangled in their box. Christmas, to Mark, was something other people performed. Neighbors with children, people still pretending nothing bad ever happened in quiet places. He, a mid-aged man, spent most mornings on his front porch, coffee cooling in his hands, watching the cul-de-sac wake up. Minivans coughing to life. Snowplows scraping asphalt. The Hendersons across the street arguing softly through a cracked window. That's when he noticed the police cruiser. It idled at the end of the block longer than it needed to, lights off, engine running. 2 officers stepped out, walked up the Henderson driveway, stayed inside for 5 minutes, then left without knocking on anyone else's door. Mark told himself it was nothing. But 2 days later, it happened again. This time, at 9:30 p.m., as Mark was turning off his porch light, another squad car rolled in. Same house, same quiet exit. What bothered him wasn't the police. It was what changed inside the Henderson living room. Through the thin slit between their curtains, Mark could see the glow of a television, and above it, on the shelf near the fireplace mantel, a small red figure he hadn't noticed before. It sat stiff and smiling, its painted eyes angled toward the room. The next morning, it was gone. Instead, it appeared in the front window, facing the street. 3 days later, it sat near the back door, tilted slightly, as if someone had adjusted it in a hurry. Mark didn't mention it to anyone. Old habits die hard. 25 years investigating fraud taught him one thing. Patterns don't announce themselves. They wait to be noticed. On Friday night, he followed the Hendersons' SUV to the Shell station on Route 17. Nothing dramatic. No chase. Just watching from across the lot as a man in a gray hoodie stepped out, exchanged a plastic grocery bag, and left without buying gas. The Hendersons didn't look at him, didn't speak. They just drove away. 2 hours later, Mark heard sirens. After that, he started keeping track. Not on paper, not yet, just in his head. When the little figure faced the street, unfamiliar cars appeared. When it moved closer to the back of the house, something, or someone left. When it disappeared altogether, police weren't far behind. By Christmas Eve, the elf was back in the living room. Only this time, it faced inward, not toward the street. Its painted eyes weren't aimed at windows or doors. They were aimed deeper into the house, toward the street behind it, toward Mark's. Mark's phone rang at 6:14 a.m. "Mr. Bell," the voice said, "we need you to come down to the station." They found the packages in his shed, vacuum sealed, unmarked, stacked carefully, like someone wanted them found quickly. Enough to make explanations sound like lies. Mark stood in the cold, hands cuffed, staring at his house, the one place he thought he still understood. He tried to explain. About the police visits, the gas station, the doll, the way it moved. The officers exchanged a look that told him everything. Across the street, through the Henderson window, the living room light flicked on. The elf was gone. In its place, on the shelf near the mantel, sat a folded note, creased once, then twice, like it had been handled before being left behind. Mark never got to read it, but sitting in the back of the cruiser, watching snow settle over the quiet street, he finally understood what the elf had been doing all along. It wasn't watching children. It was never about behavior. It was a marker, a signal, a way to say now, not yet, move it, leave it, use him. And Mark Bell had made the mistake of noticing too much for too long, in a neighborhood that survived by knowing when to look away. By New Year's, someone else would be sitting on that porch, watching, and hoping the elf never turned inward again.